Yo, what is going on, guys? This is your boy JazzerciseCL here, and today we're here to get pumped for against Matty. Alright, so obviously you see I'm all decked out. I'm ready for a workout, alright? Because knowing Matty, he's ready to work me out to this game. Alright, and obviously, as you can tell, I've been weightlifting since December, but obviously you can tell that Matty has me beat 100% upper body. Alright, but there's one weakness that Matty has. Everybody knows it, and it's his legs. Alright, so today, not only are we going to be working out those legs so we can kick Matty's ass, alright, we're also going to be beating him at his own challenge, the Bring Sally Up squat challenge, alright? So usually he does the push-up challenge, but again, we have to work those legs out because we need to make sure our legs are fine, that we can kick Matty's ass. So we're going to be doing that Bring Sally Up, Bring Sally Down squat challenge. So are you guys ready? We're going to get ready. So here, let me turn it on, and we're about to go. Oh, all right. Holy shit. All right, you know what? I'm going to be real with you guys. I wasn't expecting it to be this hard. I was like, oh, my legs are in really good shape. All right. Now I got to limp over there to hit the stop recording. So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to destroy Matty now. If I can get over to my computer and hit the stop recording button. So, all right. there we go. Alright, so I will see you guys with the team builder section. I hope you're ready for a fantastic team and hopefully a fantastic battle. See you guys there. Yo, what is going on, guys? This is your boy TrevCL, and here we are for the team builder section against Matty Brawlick and his LA Reshirams, or also known as the Los Angeles Reshirams. Now, I'm going to try to make this both this and the battle section as short as possible, just because I'm running low on time this week. I really don't want to give myself too much to edit, so I'm going to try to hopefully make these short. I always say that I make them short and then, or try to make them short, and then they ended up still being like 10 minutes each, but let's try to make it short. So we're just going to go straight into the team. So my team is the same as last time. That'll pop up on screen now. Matty's team is Celesteela, Latios, Azumarill, Nidoking, Dhelmise, Raikou, Swellow, Licky, Musharna, Lapras, Mega Tyranitar, and Bonferno. So definitely a scary team indeed, and one I think is one of the best in the league, just because he's got a fantastic Fairy Dragon Steel Core and Celesteela, Latios, Azumarill. Nidoking's a really good mon I like for sure. Mega T-Tar is a fantastic Mega, definitely super underrated. Even still, I'd say it's arguably a top 10 or 15 Mega in the format, and it's continually rising. It's just so bulky and so hard to kill. But yeah, that's my team. So as you can see from my 6 I am bringing the Pikachu, the Mega Mawile, the Alolan Persian, the Nidoqueen, the Slurpuff, and the Rhinoculus, which means I am leaving on the bench the Salamence, the Keldeo, the Breloom, the Piloswine, the Chandelure, and the Murkrow. So definitely an interesting team I'm bringing this week. Reasons why I'm leaving Keldeo and Breloom on the bench is just because of the fact that you know, he's got stuff like Celesteela, Latios, he's got Celesteela, Latios, possibly Sapsipper, Azu, Dhelmise for my Breloom. As for Keldeo, he's got stuff like Latios, Azu, Dhelmise. So while most of them are checked, while a lot of his checks to both of them are the same things, which means they could get worn down easier, I still think that he just has so much for them. That's why I'm not bringing them. Salamence, really, the reason I'm not bringing Salamence is I would have to be a Z-Crystal on it, and you'll see in a little bit that I actually have a pretty cool set on my Persian. Murkrow, it's kind of obvious he's got a Celesteela. Piloswine actually had a pretty good matchup. I just couldn't fit it on the team. It's probably the 7th best Pokemon for sure. And then I think that covers everything. Yeah, and Chandelure also had a good matchup, but like Mega T-Tar is there, so I mean it just wasn't worth bringing when you included Mega T-Tar there. So quickly gonna go over this team. So first we have Pikachu, enough speed to outspeed Jolly, max speed Mega T-Tar, knockoff, E-Speed, Volt Tackle, and Brick Break. Arguably, Pikachu is the biggest threat to his team on this team I'm bringing, even bigger than Mawile. It 2 KOs or OHKOs everything on the team. You know, just for example, knockoff plus E-Speed kills Nidoking after rocks, which is pretty crazy. Even has a really good chance of killing without rocks, actually. If he's no bulk, knockoff plus E-Speed does 100% minimum. So yeah, Pikachu's insane, dude. It like OHKO Celesteela unless it's like max Phys Def. Latios gets destroyed by knockoff, and actually Volt Tackle plus E-Speed kill Latios, especially if there's rocks up. Azu obviously dies. Dhelmise takes a ton from knockoff unless it's Colbur. Raikou dies to knockoff slash Brick Break slash Volt Tackle plus E-Speed. Swellow obviously dies to Volt Tackle, and honestly after 2 rocks, which it's in range of E-Speed, pretty much Licky and Musharna I think are the only things that don't get 2 KO'd, but they would have to be absolute max Phys Def, and even then Musharna would have to be like his Z Crystalmon or Colbur to not get 2 KO'd. Even Mega T-Tar after rocks gets OHKO'd by Brick Break. So yeah, Pikachu is definitely a big threat towards his team. It outspeeds a decent amount of it too. It outspeeds like about half his team, and the other half can't really switch into it and or take an E-speed plus whatever it has to switch into either. So yeah, definitely a huge threat this game. Next we have another big threat, a physical threat in Mawile. Enough speed, just kind of speed creep Celesteela. I think I'm creeping like something like 32 speed Celesteela. But honestly, I could see him running enough speed to outspeed my Mawile easily. So it also helps creep like a Delmise trying to creep me, because if he tries to creep Delmise for my Mawile, he's definitely not going to go more than maybe like 20 EVs over the Mawile speed. So he's either going to run max speed, or he's going to run maybe no speed, enough speed to outspeed like maybe a 4 or 8 EV speed Mawile, maybe even 20, or enough speed to, or just max speed. So, but he's not going to creep specifically this. So he's going to either outspeed me by a lot, or not outspeed me. So that's kind of why this helps creep with like the Licky. It helps creep the Delmise, stuff like that. Azu as well. There's a lot of things he has in that general speed tier, so that's why I have this much speed, as well as the Celesteela. And then my and forgive me for this. I built this team a little bit ago. The attack investment allows me to basically 2 KO or OHKO everything on his team. Fizz of Celesteela dies to 2 T punches. Like Delmise doesn't take a knockoff. Azu, I think, actually gets OHKO'd by a Thunder Punch after rocks. Mega T-Tar still dies to play rough unless he's like Fizz Def. Yeah, Mega Mall is a pretty good big threat, and then the Spadef investment allows me to take on stuff like I can take 2 non-boosted Thunderbolts from Raikou. I can take definitely 2 non-Life Orb HP Fires from Latios. I believe it might be a roll for regular HP Fire. It just gives me a lot, the best bulk investment possible that I can with the speed and attack. So I still have a decent amount of physical bulk because of the HP investment, but I also have the best possible special investment for taking special attacks. So we're gonna move on from the Mawile. It's a big threat as well. Next, moving on to my special threat, we have Nasty Plot 3 attacks Alolan Persian with Electrium Z, Dark Pulse, Nasty Plot, HP Fighting, and Thunderbolt. This hits an entire team super hard. It hits almost everything on his team super effectively too, except for the Monferno, well, technically I hit Licky super effectively, and the Raikou and the Nidoking. But at +2, I OHKO a lot of his. I OHKO a lot of his team. Unless he's Spadef Celesteela, it dies to +2 Z Thunderbolt. Latios dies to Dark Pulse after rocks. Azumarill dies to +2 Z Thunderbolt unless he's AB. If he's not AB, then I do need to go for Z Thunderbolt to kill him. But if I can weaken him down, then Thunderbolt will still do like +2 Thunderbolt still does like 60 to 70, something around that range. So still a lot of damage. Depending on how fat his T-Tar is, I could potentially 2 KO with HP Fighting. I know I'm running for Code, not Technician. I'm doing that just because it's not like I can OHKO a max, or a very little bulk Mega T-Tar with HP Fighting with Technician anyway, just because that would literally be for more damage on T-Tar, but Fur Coat allows me to set up on T-Tar easier and survive more hits, so that's why I'm Fur Coat. But yeah, this Persian is actually a really big threat. Honestly, it's like the little guys like Pikachu and Alolan Persian that are the big threats here. Next we have Nidoqueen. Enough speed just to outspeed max speed Celesteela, just in case. Also allows me to outspeed things like max speed Azu. Probably Adamant T-Tar. I outspeed everything except for Jolly Mega T-Tar. Maybe even speed creeping. If he wants to be kind of a slower Nidoking. I'd assume he'd probably speed creep at least Nidoqueen, if not also Chandelure, but who knows. he might be a little bit slower of a Nidoking, so it helps me catch that too. And then I'm just Shooka for the Nidoking. It helps in a lead matchup, Nidoking versus Nidoqueen. I can decide whether to get up my rocks or to go for my own Earth Power and knock him down to Sash or kill him. So yeah, that's why I'm Shooka. And then just max special attack, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Flamethrower gives me the best coverage I feel against his team. Next we have yet another threat, physical threat even, Belly Drum Slurpuff. Now, this gives me enough speed to outspeed Scarf Nidoking creeping a Chandelure. So if he hits that 285/286 stat, trying to creep Chandelure, I do outspeed that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm enough attack investment to where I pick up the KOs I need. I still kill a Nazumara with Play Rough. I still kill a Delmise with Play Rough. I still kill a Mega T-Tar with Drain Punch. I still kill a Nidoking with Return, stuff like that. And then the bulk allows me to live like Life Orb, Psychic, and then set up the Belly Drum. I have enough health to set up a Belly Drum. It also allows me to live things like Specs, Boom Burst from Swallow easily, so that even though I can't set up Belly Drum at that point, I can still attack it and to a KO with Play Rough slash Drain Plus slash Return. And honestly, I don't think if he brings the Fizdef Celesteela, then he can kind of check it if it's at least at 60%. But if he's not Fizdef Celesteela, all I need to do is get this Celesteela anywhere from 40 to 60%, depending on what I've scouted his set to be. And after that, Slurpuff can Drain Punch does anywhere from 40 to 60, depending on investment. If he's Fizdef, then it does closer to 40-ish, in the 40-ish range. If he's like max HP, it does about 50-ish, and if he's like very little bulk investment, it can do 60 or more. So yeah, Slurpuff is still a big threat even with the Celesteela. And then finally we have Reuniclus, which is just kind of the everything check. This is mainly my, honestly, it helps me check pretty much every form of Celesteela. I check the defensive sets. I don't get 2 KO'd by anything bar like a boosting item Celesteela or Steelium Z or something like that. I can also set up on it. So even though I'm not running Thunder or Shockwave for Celesteela, I can still beat it 1v1. Again, unless he's Life Orb, Specs, or Banned. Cobra Berry's there to help me check T-Tar. And honestly, this set beats everything bar the Musharna. But other than that, this Reuniclus is looking really good. It helps me check a lot of his offensive threats. It helps me beat a lot of his team as well. So, you know, I can 1v1 Raikou with obviously with Psyshock and stuff like that. At +1, I kill a T-Tar unless he's like, I think he'd have to be like super fat like Spadef to live. So, honestly, I'm really liking my matchup against Matty. So hopefully we can pick up our first W of the season. But you guys will have to find out in the battle section. See you guys there. And here we are, guys, with the battle. So as you can see, Matty brought Celesteela, Azumarill, Raikou, Mega T-Tar, Latios, and Delmise. So a couple things. Kind of surprised not to see the Nidoking and the Swallow. Nidoking because I felt like it was a really good rocker against my team. Honestly, it beat a lot of my it beat pretty much all of my stuff that was slower than it, except for like Reuniclus. But even then, he could be running Mega Horn or Shadow Ball for it. And Swallow, my only Boom Burst resist from a Swallow is a Mawile, which if I try to switch it in unmega'd, dies to Boom to Boom Burst, even if I make it the next turn. If I do have it mega'd when I switch in, I believe it might be a roll to 2-hit KO me. And even then, if he predicts that and goes for Heat Wave, he definitely 2-hit KOs me. If he's Life Orb, he can just click, you know, Life Orb Heat Wave the next turn after clicking Boom Burst. And yeah, so a little surprised not to see any form of Swallow. And honestly, looking at this team, it's looking very weak to Persian. Now, obviously, I'm going to need to weaken one of Celesteela or Azu because I can't sweep with Persian if they're both full, because I can kill one of them depending on investment and items with a Z Thunderbolt, but I cannot kill both of them at +2 with one Z Thunderbolt for one and then regular Thunderbolt for the other. I need damage on one, and then I need to Z Thunderbolt the other one. So
That's going to be my game plan. Try to weaken things and stuff. Try to weaken things in range of Persian, in range of Slurpuffs, because Slurpuff looks really good too. All I really need to do is weaken Celesteela, and Slurpuff can win. And honestly, my breakers in Mawile and Pikachu can do a really good job. They pressure Celesteela, they force it out. Mawile just, I mean, his only switch into Mawile is Celesteela, and even that gets to it killed by Thunder Punch. So even I don't even need to make a prediction when it comes to Celesteela with Mawile, because getting one play rough damage, one play rough off, depending on if I have rocks up, depending on his investment, depending on if he's lefties, it might not really matter at all, because of the fact that that might just be enough in range of Drain Punch from Slurpuff. But looking at the matchup, I'm going to lead off with my Mawile, because I feel like it's my best lead against this entire team. It potentially beats 6 out of 6 members. The only one that can potentially beat it is the Celesteela, if it's like decently speedy with Fire EMZ, like at least 40 speed investment with Fire EMZ. Everything else cannot, nothing else can OHKO me, and then I can pretty much OHKO everything back. So I am going to lead off with that Mawile, as he's going to lead off with the Raikou. So right now, I figure my best play right here is a knockoff. It's going to do a lot of damage to the Raikou or anything else that wants to come in. He actually just goes straight for the Reflect, revealing that he's Light Clay. So now I'm going to go for a play rough, as he does about 40 with his Thunderbolt. Here I'm going to go into my Nidoqueen, as he goes for a Light Screen, and right here he's going to make a very aggressive play. He's going to go straight into the Azumarill as I go for the rocks. Now, there was a very possible chance I could have gone for Sludge Wave there. I don't think it would have killed the Raikou, but really, if he's dual screens, Raikou can't really do anything back to the Nidoqueen. So Sludge Wave could have been a play I could have possibly made, but he does get the play right. He does predict me to go straight for the rocks, or maybe Earth Power, something that won't do a lot of damage to Azu, and he's going to go for the, obviously go for the play as I go in for the rocks. Now, this is a very dangerous situation, as my Sludge Wave only does like 45 to 55 depending on investment, and if he's Belly Drum Citrus, depending on speed investment, depending on if he's adamant or not, and depending on a possible roll on my Persian, because with Fur Coat I actually have the possibility to live a Aqua Jet from Azu. It's actually in my favor greatly. I think it's like a 60 or 70% chance to live if he's adamant. If he's Jolly, there's no roll on my Persian, but he still has a decent chance to win right here if he is Belly Drum Citrus. If he's just plain old Belly Drum, Pikachu can kill with E-Speed after Sludge Wave damage. That's if my Sludge Wave doesn't put him in range of not being able to get his Belly Drum. So I am just going to go straight for the Sludge Wave, and I'm going to get a crit. Now, let me just start it off by saying he wasn't Belly Drum, he was actually banded. So the crit doesn't matter quite as much as you think. So it's not a possible, like, it doesn't take me from a possible getting 6-0'd. However, it still matters a great amount, because of the fact that Banded Azu in the back after he kills my Nidoqueen could be a very, very good thing to have, because it can check a lot of my setup supers, because like Banded Aqua Jet does like, I think 30 to 35 to my Persian, so after it takes like 2 physical hits, like it's in range of Aqua Jet. Banded Aqua Jet I think does like 50-ish to Slurpuff, probably like at least 45 or 50 I'd guess. So obviously that's put well in range. I mean, if I take one attack and I'm not able to Drain Punch my health back, say I try to set up on like a Raikou and he Thunderbolts me, then I'm probably in range of a Aqua Jet from Azu. So that's what really hurt him, is not being able to have Banded Aqua Jet in the back to check some of my setup threats. Even Banded Aqua Jet for Pikachu, because I think it could just OHKO right back. Although if I got a rock switch, one more rock switch in anyway, and without Reflect, I think I did just kill with E-Speed anyway. But with a Reflect, he would basically almost claim a kill right there. And on top of the fact that now I have my Nidoqueen around, which means I can just start firing off hits on something else. So he actually is going to go into his Delmise. I'm going to go for the Flamethrower, only do 20%. He's going to go for Earthquake. It's going to do 44% even with the Shuka. And right here, I'm going to get another crit as he takes me out. So that crit actually mattered a lot more than I thought it did. Because when this game first happened, I thought the crit on Azu was humongous. Like, and it was, it ended up still being pretty big. But the crit on Delmise I had kind of written off as not quite as important. But honestly, it was pretty important because after the game, Matty told me it would have changed up his play. Because had he had more health, he might have just stayed in right here and attacked me and put me in range of Sand plus another hit from Keytar. As I go for the nasty plot here, I see my opening. I'm just going to go straight for the HP fighting as that does a ton, revealing that he's not really that bulky of a Keytar. As if Earthquake does about 35. And this is where had he attacked with the Delmise, you know, if he was like, honestly, I'm not sure if he was like banded or not. I was a pretty faro Nidoqueen, but as you can see on the screen here, he goes for the Protect as I go for the Gigavolt Havoc, and even through Protect, doing 1/4 damage, that is a 2 KO easily. As I go for the Thunderbolt here, and obviously as Raikou's low health, it's just gonna die. Here, if he Scarfed or Culper Latios, he can end the sweep right here, but he was not either. So Persian is just gonna pick up another kill. Persian is gonna pick up a third kill. And then finally, Persian is going to pick up its 4th kill of the game. Funny enough, I actually thought Persian got 5 kills originally, but I forgot Delmise actually died to rocks. So that is 2 kills for Nidoqueen and 4 kills for Persian. So this game did not go the way I expected it, obviously. I obviously did not expect to win because of crits. And by the way, I say because of crits. Now, it's too early. It was too early in the game to say, hey, that crit changed who won the game. It was turn 5, and definitely too early to say who would have won the game. Now, as you can see, that Persian set still ended up putting in work, and honestly, like, if I could have scared something out, like, say, I go in on his Latios, and I scare it out possibly, except a nasty plot, I still have the same chance to win, possibly. The only difference is that he has Azu in the back, so if he gets enough damage, say he goes into T-Tar, and, you know, he gets the same Earthquake off, you know, I'm possibly in range of the Aqua Jet from Azu, so that would be the only difference. Persian was still there and still a threat. I still had Slurpuff, which once I got damage off on the Celesteela, he definitely was not very bulky at all, judging by the fact that a quarter damage Z Thunderbolt did 44%. So that means, like, honestly, Slurpuff could have killed it from, like, 60. So, like, just a couple rock switch-ins would have done the job. Or just, like, an attack from a couple of attacks from Reenaclus, or, a play rough switch-in from Make Mawile. Something like that would have put him in range of Slurpuff. So I'm still very confident I could have won that game. However, we can't really know because I crit him turn 5. So we don't know how that game would have played out. We kind of know how it would have played out if I hadn't crit his Delmise, because he said he would have stayed in just to get off damage. And probably Persian wouldn't have swept, but at that point, I believe my Slurpuff could have set up on anything besides the Celesteela. It could have set up on the Raikou. It could have set up on... I designed it to set up on the Latios. It could have set up on the T-Tar, I believe. Although if he was like Adamant Stone Edge, possibly not. But even then, just like also Pikachu could do a lot of damage. It could OHKO the T-Tar. It could OHKO the Celesteela. Raikou was in range of E-Speed. The only thing that wasn't in range of Pikachu at that point was the Latios, but just from Latios could be checked by Reenaclus. So it's difficult to say, and it's a lot of theory modding. For sure, one thing we can guarantee is that it would have been a lot closer of a game. It wouldn't have been a 5-0. Probably would have been a 2-0 or a 3-0 on either side. Possibly on a 1-0. I'm confident I still could have won. I'm sure Matty's confident that given a chance at actually playing the game, because that's what the crit really did. It basically took any chance Matty had of winning the game and it threw it away. So that's the main thing the crit did. So that's definitely sucks, because honestly this would have been a pretty cool game. I'm excited to see what Matty would have brought, or what he did bring when I see his team builder section. Hopefully he'll have that. I'm a little down because of that stuff. I didn't get to like show off my Pikachu. I didn't get to show off my Slurpuff, although my Slurpuff is kind of just a standard set, but the spread was pretty cool. So I didn't get to show off a lot of my cool stuff. I did get at least show off Persian, obviously, as it swept, but yeah, that crit just sucked all around. Sucked for Matty. It still kind of sucks, even for me, because I don't want to win that way. As much as I do get hacks in my favor, I never want to win with hacks. Despite what you might believe, I don't want to win through hacks. I want to win legitimately. I wanted my chance to beat Matty with a Pikachu on my team legitimately, but unfortunately, that chance might be gone now, because this might be the last time I play Matty, because I believe this is the last NPL season. So it kind of sucks that this could be the way, our own personal series ends. I believe this was like our 6th or 7th time playing, maybe only our 5th. Might have only been like our 5th. Yeah, I believe it was our 5th, because we played in season 4 once. We played in season 5 twice. We played in season... Did we play in season 6? I don't think we played in season 6. We definitely played in season 7. And then, I think this was our 5th time meeting overall. And I think this was actually the tiebreaker. So it kind of sucks that this is the way that it had to go down. But, it happens. It's Pokemon. So I also want to give a huge shout out to Matty for being such a champ. He was a champ about this game. He didn't, when I said sorry in the chat, he was just like, it's okay. That's the way Pokemon is. And after the game, he congratulated me on the win. And he, shouted out my Persian set, saying, hey, that was a really cool Persian set. And I definitely appreciate it, because obviously I'm not the one who got hacked, but I was definitely feeling not too good about the win. So that definitely helped me out a lot. And, just to Matty, again, I apologize for hacks. As you said, it's part of the game, and there's nothing really we can really do about it. So, yeah. But that was the game. I know I tried to make this video as short as possible, and it's still going to end up being 30 minutes long, but hey, that's the way TrevCL does things. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe if you want to keep up with all the other NPL stuff, or PPL stuff, or anything else I might do on my channel. I know I don't really say this enough, but also go check out my opponent's side. I usually don't say this, because usually my opponent is bigger than me, so in terms of YouTube stuff. So usually if you're sub to them, you're sub to me. But I'm gonna start trying to say this more. Definitely go check out Matty. He's a way better player than me. And whether it was matchup, whether it was hacks, whatever you believe in team building, Matty definitely is still the better player out of the two of us. So go check him out. He's probably gonna end up doing way better this season than I am. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe if I get lucky all the time like this, maybe I won't lose another game ever again. But yeah, I just hope this doesn't happen again next week. But next week we do play Danza and his LA Nidokings, which is a bit of a rivalry match going all the way back to NPL Season 2. So hopefully we can pick up the W in that one without hacks, legitimately. We want a legitimate win without hacks, so that we can say, hey, we have our first 100% proof win this season. So look forward to that. But I've been rambling on long enough. This has been your boy TrevCL, and I am signing out. Peace, guys.